Good evening, everybody. How's everybody doing out there? Scott Rabel with MindSpout, and hope everybody's had a good week and a good weekend, and slowly getting ready to kick off another week. Yes, I think it's week 7 now of the kind of quarantine, stay at home, and hope everybody out there is safe and healthy. And appreciate everybody who's watched videos and made comments. Definitely thankful for that. And just wanted to, real quick, do a little recap for the week. We talked about a few things this week, from Facebook to Zoom to the NFL draft, and just wanted to kind of go back over those real quick and touch on those once more. And welcome any questions, any comments you may have. Feel free to post them, and I'll respond right away. First off, the recap of shout outs. First, Jessica Koch at Koch Consulting, who, by the way, I saw is doing another training. I believe it's May 1st. I just posted on my timeline. Definitely check it out. She's a wizard when it comes to LinkedIn and can definitely help you with maximizing your LinkedIn profile. Also, Steve Barber, Supporting Strategies, Outsourced Bookkeeping. Absolutely recommend checking him out. He's a fantastic guy, does tons and tons of networking, and can certainly help you out. Stephanie Bonte Lebert, my own personal coach, who has been instrumental in helping me get started with kicking off these Facebook lives, and then and continuing with the encouragement and just helping me help grow my business and survive as we go through this global pandemic. And then finally, last but not least, my wife and daughter, Rachel and Gabby, who are very, very much the support system behind the scenes that helps to keep me going and keep me going strong. So without further ado, let's jump into some of the things that we talked about this week. And first thing was the Facebook yearbook sort of challenge, not really a challenge, but people posting yearbook photos. And yes, it's nice, it's cool, and reminisce. However, as I talked about, when you start posting photos like that, people, especially, there's a tendency to put the year you graduated. And so that can automatically, scammers, hackers pick up on that data and can start kind of reverse analyzing and figure out birth dates, and then they can do some quick searches and maybe find places where you lived, and maybe some other information that then makes it a little bit easier for them to potentially hack into accounts. So just, I know it's fun, but be careful because you're putting on information. And the same goes, at times you'll be people post pictures of cars that may have sentimental value, that the year, the make, and the model. Again, those are things that you may have for your password remembering questions. So if you're gonna do that, don't use those as your password questions. Just, again, be careful. There's a lot of things that go around Facebook, and just make sure that you're reviewing your security settings and your security questions. And then a little bit, we talked about tech tools, and I touched on a number of them. One of them being Health Tap, where it's just a telehealth site where you can get a US based doctor, board certified, consult. And I know it's hard to can't get to your primary care physician. So this could be a way to just make sure you touch base with your a doctor to, if you have symptoms, just to find out what's going on. And then the Get Set Up, which I think is a really cool idea, which was it's a new site that helps teach seniors fundamental tech-based life skills. So it's helping with filling prescriptions online, setting up accounts online, setting up Medicare, and it's was built around or by retired educators and tech industry expert who teach these courses in an interactive way. It helps them learn by doing than just watching a video. So I definitely think it's a great thing to check out, as well as Open Table is another cool one that has made a pivot where Open Table, if you don't know what that is, it's a restaurant reservation platform, and they've pivoted to where you can uh, pick up or choose between available shopping times at local supermarkets. So instead of going and wait, you actually have a time. So kind of neat what they did there. And the last one I talked about, I kind of chuckled, was the Snap camera for desktop, which gives you your virtual makeup or touch up for your calls, just like this, to make sure if you need to, if you want to look good for the camera, you can do that. And then we pivoted later in the week, talked about home office networks, and I had read an article that talked about that it was found that roughly 45% of home office networks had malware on them versus 13% of enterprise networks. And it's just one of those things that it goes to what kind of what I knew going into the whole COVID-19 as office networks, virtual networking for sort of virtual workers, that home office networks aren't necessarily as secure. They haven't been set up that way. So it's important that as a business owner, if you have people who are doing virtual work or remote work, that you have, first of all, policies and procedures in place, but two, make sure that there's the systems they're using, if they're not given to them by you as the business with controls around them, that you set stipulations on what their systems can be and what they can have on it and how secure they need to be. Because the last thing you need is somebody remoting into your business and causing problems just because it's a personal device that maybe is already infected, or the home network has been breached. So it's important to take that into consideration as a business owner, because ultimately it comes back on you. I mean, you're the one that is allowing the workers to work from home, so cover yourself. And then Zoom update. If anybody doesn't know, I saw Zoom release an update. The newest version is 4.6.12. And I know that may mean nothing to people out there, but if you go to your Zoom on your desktop client, you can, and this is for PCs, it might be slightly different from Macs, and I could talk about that another time. But for PCs, if you open your Zoom desktop client, and when it opens up in the upper right hand corner, click on your image, come down in the drop down menu, it should say help. If you hit that, and then the pop out menu should say about Zoom. And you want to make sure that when you click on about Zoom, the box that pops up, the version number is 4.6.12. If not, if it's something earlier than that, go to Zoom, zoom.us, log in to your account, download the most recent version. So that way you are safe and secure, because as I talked about on Thursday, Zoom was rolling out more security features, encryption. And I actually noticed with Zoom that now, just like you would see on your browsers, your web browsers, Chrome, Firefox, the little green lock that says it's secure. Zoom now has one that shows encryption. So you have a little green padlock, and that means there's, if you hover over it, it says encryption. So they're getting better, and I give props to the CEO, Eric Wan, I think is his name, who has spent time and basically focused on upgrading the security and privacy and just the overall stability of the Zoom platform in the face of just a massive struggle early on, as Zoom downloads went way up. So kudos to them, and this is definitely one of those things you want to make sure you update. And I talked about the virtual NFL draft, which the NFL draft is now in the books, and it went off, seems like without a hitch, at least as far as I've heard and seen to date. That doesn't mean there may not be something that comes up later. And it was kind of funny, some of the different different things that came out of it, whether it be uh, Jerry Jones and women in phones, or people in the reactions that were kind of definitely unscripted on TV, or the houses or the dogs. So it seemed to go off without a hitch, seemed to go well, and thankfully so. So I guess now it transitions for all those that are football lovers, whether or not there will actually be a season that starts on time, or if it'll be delayed. That goes for college football. Not to mention, we still have the NBA season that is on hold. MLB is on hold. Hockey is on hold. So not sure what's going to happen, but we'll see. And I hope that as soon as, and I guess I saw that with the NBA, that some of the players in states and cities that had started to loosen the restrictions will actually be able to go into practice facilities. So stay tuned this week to see how that goes, and what how that will play out in a good or bad way. Hopefully, be no reoccurrence or like flashpoints of coronavirus. And so, that being said, I hope everybody is staying safe. Be smart. As things start to flatten out the curve and things start to get better, don't take that as a means to just go off and go do your thing. Still stay smart. Make sure you stay safe. I appreciate everybody for watching. I hope everybody is having a good weekend, and we'll get ready for a great week, and hopefully a week of progression towards coming out of this pandemic. And I would love to hear any comments, any questions you have. Feel free to paste them in the comment section below. And you can always reach me, Scott at mountspout.com. Hope everybody has a great evening. Bye.